Hi people, it's Chilli here from Live Listen Erased, and I'm bringing you another episode of 5-minute reviews. This time I'm going to take a look at the latest album from WoFat called The Singularity. Now WoFat is a new entry for me, and I believe they take their name from a bad guy from Hawaii 5-0, and it's safe to say I haven't really heard their music up until about a couple of weeks ago. I had seen the band mentioned numerous times by a few Instagram pages that I follow, especially about how good this recent album was. So, thanks to a final push by the band Earthless, I decided to give WoFat a chance. So, here's my thoughts regarding their latest album. The album's opener is a 13-minute epic track called The Orphans of Singe, I think I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, which begins off with a very mystic guitar intro and sets the mood for the song before launching into that classic thick stoner metal guitar tone, and when I say thick, I mean that. Probably not as heavy as, say, Sleep or High on Fire, but damn, these guys just set aside a great set of riffs here for this tune. I mean, the drums are just mesmerizing, and they are at the heart of the song constantly. My only gripe, and I'm pretty sure it was with the crummy audio equipment that I was listening to the track at the time, was that the bass line just seems to be mixed to a point where you can't really hear it unless other instruments are taken off. Regardless, this is one killer track, and this song's journey is over before you know it, but will leave you begging for more. I love the breakdown about halfway as the tempo changes and it mixes up the song perfectly. This is one spicy opening track, and I feel that live performances will only enhance this song further as it has a lot of parts that are just open for jamming. The Snows of Banco 4 is the next track, and I'm sure I mispronounced that one as well. And damn, this track bangs from the opening riffs played at quite a faster pace. However, this isn't for long, as they dial it back before delivering dredgingly thick riffs again, as voluptuous as Nicki Minaj. Well anyway, this song ticks all the boxes of your classic stoner rock sounds. Slow riff? Check. Heavy guitar tone? Check. Drums crashing like a thunderstorm? Check. 420? Fuck, I knew something was missing there. Great fucking tune. Especially that outro. Overworlder is the next track, and it starts off with an ambitious drumming and guitar intro, I'll give them that. But its segue into a spacey and sporadic zone feels like it came out of nowhere almost, and it's like a rug getting ripped out from under our feet. I dig spacey effects used in stoner metal in particular. Orange Goblin have worked this in effectively over their career, in particular their earlier stuff, but this feels somewhat out of place. Most of the tune is a solid foot stomper, but the first 3 minutes or so just felt a little weird to me. The Unravelling is the following track and is the middle point of the LP. At 7 minutes and 42 seconds long, it's also the shortest track on this album. Well, for me, this is a kick-ass hard rock song. It's just your back-to-basics 4/4 rock track, and I dig it. It's also perfectly placed as well, given the thick tones of the earlier and what has to be coming up next. The Witching Chamber is up next, and talk about a slow build. This is an awesome song to get your skin crawling, especially for those who have partaken in the peace pipe. For those on a slow ride, then this song will probably come as the first real "oh shit, yeah" moment. Even sober, this song still kicks ass and takes names. Brutally heavy and moves like Pyramid Head, and it hits equally as hard. The next track is the album's title track, The Singularity, and this tune does a red herring move with its slow riff that leaves you thinking, this is going to be a slow paced track, before it gives way to a true faster piece. With very nice riffs, by the way. Nice. And we are now at the album closer, called The Oracle, and oh boy is this one a doozy. So this track is nearly 17 minutes long, and it has one great intro. Bass chords play over the top of the guitars as they play slow and delicate toneful pieces, with some light drumming focusing mostly on the cymbals, which gives it a great flair. It's probably also time when this song starts up to take another hit. Eventually, the song does build further until it gets heavier and dirtier in sound. The tone then shifts to become a bit more sinister as the song shifts and the drums move to the toms and play louder and louder. This song truly builds and is very prog. At the halfway point of this song, it just has a massive breakdown, all before it builds up again with the bass at the forefront. If it's not obvious enough, this is one amazing song, if not one of their finer tracks from this album. Truly inspiring stuff. What to say about WoFat? Other than, I'm glad I checked them out. Stoner metal is a genre I have loved for more and more over time. Maybe it's because it fuses many things that I like in music. Namely, long tracks, heavy metal, and a dirty guitar sound with the ability to play extensive guitar solos throughout. I have perhaps overindulged in this field as of recent, and there are a few bands that I found to be a bit bland. But there are some newer bands that I have come across recently that I'm very happy to have heard. WoFat is another fine example of a great find in the last year or so I have found, alongside Earthless and Tobner. Needless to say, I think this is one of the best albums I have heard this year, with many tracks latching on to me instantly. Now, this album is a long one. It runs in at just over an hour, and you don't need to be blazed to enjoy this album. But I'm guessing a few of you out there will definitely say you probably should. It might help. However way you want to listen to this album is a good way, as long as you're listening to it, of course. And overall, I will give this one of the strongest rankings right off the bat, with 4 million chilies on my spicy scale. Yes, I feel that strongly about this album, with standout tracks being for me Orphans of Singe, The Snows of Banco 4, The Witching Chamber, as well as The Oracle. I implore you to go out and check this album now. If you like your bands like Caius or Orange Goblin, High on Fire or Sleep or any of those bands, you will particularly enjoy this album. I couldn't tell you if this is a great starting point, but in my opinion it is. I haven't heard any of the other previous albums, so if there are any other WoFat fans listening, please let me know below which album I should listen to next. Thank you all for watching this video, and don't forget everyone to stay spicy. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Live Listen Erased, and if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with all your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our Chilli Con Carnage Crew so you can get notified for all the future videos that we put out, as we put out videos every Friday. Also, we are on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter over at Live Listen Erased, so make sure to tune in over there. And don't forget to like this video so that our manager can stay very happy.